All right, IBAASL2. We do have that derivative techniques test coming up, so I thought I would do some derivative techniques closure notes with you. These closure notes are fairly short and sweet because it's really just a few rules, but then on a ton of different problems that can happen with them. In terms of finding actual derivatives, you guys, this is your toolbox you have right now. We've been using the power rule since like almost day one in this class. Things that have been added in this unit have been the chain rule. When there's a function inside of a function, you take the derivative of the outside function, leaving the inside the same, but then times the derivative of the inside. The product rule, which is first d second plus second d first, and the quotient rule, which is low d high minus high d low over low squared. Some sort of oddball functions that we did talk about how to find the derivative of are e to the x, natural log of x, sine of x, and cosine of x. E to the x is just e to the x, natural log of x is 1 over x, sine of x is cosine of x, and cosine is negative sine. Now, what are we doing with these? Basically the same thing we've been doing in the past. We're finding the equations of tangents and normals. I could ask you to find stationary points. Remember, that's where you set the derivative equal to 0 and solve for the points. Sometimes that just gives you the x values, and then you have to plug them back into the original equation to find the actual coordinates. Or we could find inflection points, because all these derivative techniques, you could use a derivative twice to find a second derivative. And when you set the second derivative equal to 0, you solve for the x values of the inflection points. One thing that's been tripping people up is just the algebra involved with all this stuff. Some things to watch out for. Adding fractions together. So sometimes one thing will be a fraction and the other's not, and you need to put it over 1 and then force it to have a common denominator. A lot of times we'll be switching back and forth between something to the 1/2 power and changing that to a square root, so know how to go back and forth between those. Some log properties did come up. For example, I think this one happened a couple times, that log of AB is log of A plus log of B. Also, there was some spiraling of logs, so log of E, or a natural log of E is just 1, things like that. Also, always be looking to factor out a common term. I feel like sometimes it's the long route. If you distribute and FOIL a ton of things and try to combine like terms, and then you're like, oh, I could have factored out a x minus 1 quantity squared from the beginning or something like that. There might be a couple problems that involve exact values on the unit circle. So, if I asked you for sine of 11 pi over 6, that this is negative 1/2. How did I figure that out? I drew a circle, I put a little triangle, put a triangle in it right here, where this side is root 3 over 2, and this side is negative 1/2, stuff like that. Dividing by big fractions. Oh yeah, that's like if you have something over a fraction that you can flip and multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. All right, guys, happy studying, good luck.